Welcome, Stache, to another episode of Stache Sports. Just breaking news: the Steelers have signed Hofferman, a Dallas Cowboys offensive lineman that played guard and played some center with the Cowboys when he was there, to a one-year contract. This helps the Steelers in the offensive line depth. It was reported earlier, but we were fooled to believe it earlier that Hofferman was going to sign with the Steelers because he used to play with Mike McCarthy. But we were fooled earlier, but now it's official from the Steelers website that they have signed Hofferman. So this is a good addition for the Steelers. This helps help up the offensive line. I mean, he could be a plug and play at the guard now since we lost Isaac Salamalu. So maybe that helps. Maybe we still draft somebody young too. But it's going to be interesting to see now what they do in the draft. I think they might still go receiver in the first round. And I wonder if they're going to be trading up. Because we do have 12 picks, and that's a lot of players to add to the team. So I wonder if they're going to try to trade up and move some of those picks for a higher pick. I guess we'll see when the draft comes up in less than a month. But Hofferman's a good addition. Hopefully he has depth of the offensive line that needs it for whoever the quarterback is. We still don't know if Aaron Rodgers is coming back next year. I mean, we all believe he is, but he hasn't made anything official yet. But we'll see. I mean, and the Steelers also signed Travis Homer yesterday. I haven't seen that official report by Steelers, but I saw a report by Adam Schefter that they're going to sign Travis Homer as a running back and special teams player. I mean, he's a good special teams player too, but I wonder what that means to Caleb Johnson now that they have free running backs. I mean, they drafted Caleb Johnson last year in the second round, and they got Kenneth Gainwell, who was a team MVP last year, but didn't expect Kenneth Gainwell to go off last year and be a team MVP like he was. And Caleb Johnson didn't get really that many touches in the backfield because Jalen Warren got the other touches that Kenneth Gainwell wasn't getting. And now we got Rico Dabo that came over from the Carolina Panthers, so he'll be getting more of the touches with Jalen Warren this year in the new offensive. Whoever's handing the ball is quarterback. But what does that mean for Caleb Johnson? Does that mean he's a bust? I mean, I don't think he's really that good, but he never got a shot. I mean, that's telling something. I don't know. I mean, maybe they could have drafted something else there in that round instead of a running back, since they already had Kenneth Gainwell before the draft, I'm pretty sure, last year, so they could have signed somebody else. But oh well. We'll see what happens with that. It's going to be an interesting year for the Steelers under Mike McCarthy, but we'll see what happens with the Steelers and that. But it is good they got Hofferman, because hopefully he can help the line and help whoever the running backs are get more yards. I mean, last year they did have Caleb Johnson on the kick return, but in a game against Seattle, he had a crucial fumble and never really was on the kick return after that, and never really saw Caleb Johnson after that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens to Caleb Johnson now that we got Travis Homer. I mean, Travis Homer's only signed to a one-year contract, so he might not even make the team. They can sign a lot of players right now. They can draft a lot of players until they have to cut down to the final roster when the season starts, but we'll see. But I mean, he is a good special team player, so we'll see. Hopefully he can help with special teams and help whoever the quarterback is have less of a field to go down, run down, so they don't have to go that far. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting because the Steelers finally have a new coach for the first time in like 17 years, with Mike McCarthy being the new play caller on offense. It's going to be interesting to see what our offense is, whoever the quarterback is. I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to see Aaron Rodgers too, but I kind of want to see what Will Howard can do to see Will Howard, our future, since everybody keeps talking so much about him. But we'll see what the Steelers decide to do. I don't want Kirk Cut. So there's no report out that the Steelers don't get Aaron Rodgers, they might get Kirk Cousins. I'd rather go with Will Howard, please, if Aaron Rodgers to come back. Unless we decide to draft somebody like a Ty Simpson or something this year. I don't know if we should draft a quarterback in the first round. I think we should draft a receiver, like an offensive tackle, to help the offensive line. Because who knows what Roger Jones is going to be like when he comes back from his injury too. Falcons had Brian Robinson Jr. to the running back room. That's funny. Finally got Brian Robinson Jr. and Bijan Robinson Jr. So we got 2 Robinson Juniors. I bet people are going to get really confused about which running back they're putting in the fantasy football if they have both of them in the league. That's going to might be confusing because they both play for Atlanta. So you might want to be careful. Levante David retires from the NFL after 12 seasons. That's a long career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was a good Tampa Bay Buccaneer. But the Buccaneers are going to have to fill that hole in their defense. I wonder if they're going to draft somebody to fill that place on their defense. But that's a big loss. He was a good player for the Buccaneers. He was an old-timer. But we'll see what happens. I mean, he might be, think Levante David should be in the Hall of Fame if he watches podcast. Let me know down below if you think he should. I don't know. I think he might. He's a decent player. But we'll see when his time comes. But now he won't be a Buccaneer anymore. He's retiring a Buccaneer. He's retiring as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Also, the Patriots released Josh Dobbs yesterday. Josh Dobbs used to play for the Steelers a while back and play for different teams. I wonder where he's going to go to be a backup. He's a decent back quarterback for whatever team he goes. So let's see where Josh Dobbs goes. But he won't be playing for the Patriots. So they got Tommy DeVito as their back quarterback now. Unless they draft somebody or sign somebody in free agency behind Drake May. The Seahawks keep wide receiver Bobo because they match a Jaguars offer, so he won't be going to Jacksonville. He'll be staying in Seattle. And like I said yesterday, Jackson Smith-Njigba got a highest paid contract. But how long does that last? He's going to be next. One of these running backs needs paid. This is the year of the offense that gets paid. Because last year it seems like defense players were getting paid a lot. Last couple of years it seemed like defense. This is the offense now that starts getting paid. He's going to be the next one that breaks the bank. So the Jason's contract's not going to last that long until somebody else decides they want to break the bank and make a big deal with one of their players and make them get $121 million or whatever, more money than he's guaranteed. But it's going to be interesting. But he is a good player, Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's a good player. He deserves the money, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens now. I mean, Seattle just won the Super Bowl, and that's good. They kept their best player, but they also lost their Pro Bowl running back. But yes, I do know they have Charbonnet, that was better last year and helped me a lot in fantasy football, some of my leagues. And then they had Charbonnet, but he got hurt in the first round of the playoffs. So it's just going to depend on who they get behind Charbonnet. But maybe Charbonnet gets a big deal too. What's going to happen to Charbonnet now? I mean, he's a good running back. Is he going to get a big deal now too? I don't know. The Penguins play the Colorado Avalanche tonight. The last time the Penguins played the Avalanche, they won 7-1. But that's in Colorado. So Colorado's going to come back for vengeance tonight. Let's hope that the Penguins can come out strong. The Penguins lost a big game to the Carolina Hurricanes that they have trouble beating this year for some reason. They have really trouble. The Carolina Hurricanes seem to have their number, and they can't be able to beat the Carolina Hurricanes. I don't know why that is. But they need to They need to win tonight. They need to come out strong. Crosby needs to score. Or one of these young Penguins like Kendall. One of them needs to score. Let's hope the Penguins can come out strong tonight and look good. Because they don't need to be losing points because the Columbus Blue Jackets and New York Islanders are right behind them for second place in the Metro. So they don't need to be losing points to that. They need to keep winning points so they can stay second in the Metro. I mean, it's not going to be like they're out of the playoffs. Because they might be able to get a wild card spot, but they don't need to be messing around because now all the NHL teams are starting to play hot to try to get in the playoffs. So the Penguins don't need to mess around tonight. They need to keep winning. It's going to be tough. I think I heard a report about Malkin's out. We don't have a body injury he's day-to-day. Let's hope he's not out for long. We don't need Malkin out again. But we'll see. I mean, it's going to be tough. Arthur Sheelock, I think they said, is playing in net tonight. I think that's what they said. I don't think they said Jar, but whoever's playing in net, let's hope they have a good game unless they do good. Because we need them to do good and we need them to have a good game tonight. We need the Penguins to look strong and come out really strong for the net. They're at home tonight against Colorado. They need to come out strong and look good again. We need to get a much needed 2 points in regulation and not have to worry about overtime. But I know they won a shootout recently, but they don't need to be worried about that again. They need to keep coming back stronger and come out with a winning ways tonight. But we'll see. I mean, they got 86 points, and the Columbus Blue Jackets got 85 points. And the Islanders got 85 points. I know the Phillies are coming up with 80 points. Or Flyers, I mean. So the Penguins need to win tonight. They need to have a really strong season and keep winning. We don't need to mess around. Some of these other teams are starting to come up, like I said, on our tail for third place. They're right behind them. Because the Penguins messed around earlier this season when they let out these big leads games when they were in the third period. But let's hope they can keep winning these games now on this crucial part so they come back to bite them. Because some of these games earlier on would have been crucial now and pivotal. The games that the Penguins lost early on in the season when they had a lead going in the third period. Those games would have been good wins by now if they would have kept on to those leads and not blown them. That would have been a lot better and we'd have more points and not be worried. But now they're coming on our tail. So the Penguins need to keep winning. They need to look stronger and not look as tired as they did Sunday. That was not a good performance on Sunday at all. And we got outplayed by the Carolina Hurricanes. I know the Carolina Hurricanes are number one in the division, but the Penguins need to come out stronger and need to look stronger tonight against Colorado. I think they win tonight. I think Crosby has a good night. I think Russ scores tonight. Leslie Letang can get a good night too. Letang's been quite. Letang needs to play a lot better since he had the last couple of days he has been playing as good. But we'll see. Hopefully he can come out tonight. Maybe Ben Kendall scores tonight. Or Anthony Manfred, one of these younger playing Penguins or Penguins on free agent contract score, but been scoring. But the Penguins need to come out strong. They have a good defense and they have good goaltending. But I think they beat the Avalanche tonight. I think the Bruins beat the Maple Leafs. I think the Blackhawks beat the Islanders. That'd be great if the Blackhawks can beat the Islanders tonight. So the Islanders don't get 2 points, and no matter what the Penguins do, it won't matter because they still have more points. So let's have the Chicago Blackhawks win. I mean, they do have nice uniforms, the Blackhawks. So let's hope they can win tonight. Let's hope the Penguins can win tonight and not have to worry about the Blackhawks. But we'll see. They play the Avalanche. The Avalanche are still one of the best teams in hockey. So we'll see what the Penguins do. I mean, they did pretty good last time, and they didn't even have Crosby last time. I know they won't have Malkin because of an injury tonight, but they didn't have Crosby last time either. So we'll see what they do and how they handle it. But I think the Penguins won. I mean, they're at home tonight. Let's hope they can come back after a tough loss on Sunday. That was not a good showing at home against the Carolina Hurricanes. So let's hope the Penguins can come out stronger tonight. I think, like I said, I think Malkin scores. I think Kendall scores. I think Rose scores, but we'll see. It's going to be an interesting game tonight for the Penguins. I think the Lightning beat the Wild. I think the Jets beat the Golden Knights. I think the Hurricanes beat the Canadiens. I think the Senators beat the Red Wings. I think the Kraken beat the Panthers. Oh, that's tough. The Flyers and the Blue Jackets. I mean, we need the Flyers probably to win. But I can't root for the Flyers. I'm a Penguins fan. That's gross. I don't want to root for the Flyers. That's a tough one, so I'm not picking that one. The Capitals or Blues? I don't know. I guess St. Louis Blues. The Sharks and the Nashville Predators. The Nashville Predators over the Sharks. I say Nashville because it's in Nashville, and they're looking to. I think they're still looking for a playoff spot, but we'll see. I think the Stars beat the Devils. I think the Flames beat the Kings. I think the Oilers beat the Mammoth, and I think the Ducks beat Vancouver. But we'll see. But let's hope the Penguins come out stronger tonight. They need to show up and show out because they don't need to keep worrying about the other teams behind them catching up. They need to keep getting their 2 points and go on a good win streak here and make sure they can lock up a playoff spot. I mean, they might still be able to lock up one if they make the wild card, but we don't need to worry about the wild card. We need to be worried about making the playoffs with the number 2 seed or 3 seed in Metro. It might be too late for us to catch up to the Hurricanes right now for first, I think, but they still have a chance for second. So they don't need to keep messing around and have one of these teams like the Islanders or Blue Jackets come up behind them. So let's hope the Penguins can keep winning tonight. Baseball season's just around the corner, and the Pirates are looking stronger this year. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. McCutcheon's made the opening day roster for the Rangers, so let's see what happens to McCutcheon this year. We'll see what happens. Who's going to have a better season, Marcell Ozuna or Andrew McCutcheon? It's going to be interesting to see. Let's say if Marcell Ozuna had a good season, or the Pirates fans are going to be complaining that if McCutcheon has a better season, that we should have kept McCutcheon. I mean, I don't know. Marcell Ozuna had a decent, even though he had an off year last year, I think he still had a decent batting average. So we'll see what he can do in PNC Park. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do. Also, Brandon Lau, that came over from the Tampa Bay Rays, and Magum, whatever his name is, that came over from the Tampa Bay Rays. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do for our lineup. Hopefully, Oneil Cruz can be a breakout star like he is and have a lot of hits. We need Oneil Cruz to hit the ball hard this year and make sure he can get a lot of base hits. He's going to be leadoff, but we'll see. I mean, I know we have Henry Davis, though. That's a tough one. Let's hope Henry Davis can finally get his bat on. I mean, I know they really like him as a catcher. Paul Skeens and some of these pitchers really like having him as a catcher. So let's hope we can get his bat going this year, too. That's going to be tough. I mean, they didn't call up Connor Griffin, and they put him down. Let's hope they don't have Connor Griffin down for too long. Because I really do think this is a good year for the Pirates if they stay healthy, and I think they're going to exceed their win total. And I think they're going to exceed their win total. It's going to be interesting to see how many wins they can get this year. Jeez, they had the Pirates win total of 78.5 betted on right now. I think if you're betting, you should bet the over on the Pirates win total of 78.5. I think that's going to... I think they're going to have like more than 80 wins if they stay healthy this year. They finally got some hitters. Brandon Lau had 20 home runs last year, which was pretty good, and had a lot more home runs than Cruz. If Cruz can get his bat going, that'd be great too. Let's say Brian Reynolds can get going too. Brian Reynolds had an off year last year. Let's hope he can get his back cranked up again too. Or maybe it might be time to move on from him, because if Magnum keeps hitting like Magnum did, he was hitting pretty good. Or Jacob Mangum, I think is how I say it. He was doing pretty good in spring training, so maybe if he keeps hitting, he might be able to slot in for the outfield. But I hope Brian Reynolds can keep doing good, because I really like Brian Reynolds. But we'll see. It's going to be an interesting year for the Pirates. It's going to be interesting to see what Ryan O'Hearn can do, too. O'Hearn was pretty good for the Baltimore Orioles last year, and he had to play for the Padres, and was pretty good for the Padres. It's going to be interesting what Ryan O'Hearn can do this year for the Pirates, and what Oneil Cruz can do. I mean, I know we have the best pitcher in all of baseball pitching on Sunday, or Thursday, at 1:15 against the Mets, and we're going to win that game, that's for sure. We're definitely going to beat the Mets in Peralta on Game 1, but we'll see. But we have Paul Skeens going against Peralta. It's going to be interesting what the lineup is and what the whole lineup is. I know we're going to have Cruz probably leading off, but it's going to be interesting what else is the lineup. I mean, Spencer Horwitz is going to be in the lineup probably. Reynolds will be in the lineup. Brandon Lau would be in the lineup. Henry Davis is going to be in the lineup, boy. But we'll talk more about that lineup later when it comes out. But tomorrow is the first game of baseball between the Yankees and the San Francisco Giants. That's going to be on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, you can watch tomorrow night's game at 8 o'clock. That's a season opener. I know I'm doing fantasy baseball, and I'm doing my drafts pretty late. I might have to do one later this week with my friends. But I forgot baseball season has just made it way pretty fast this year in spring training and turned around the corner, and it's already regular season. But I do think the Pirates should have more than 78 win total. A 70.5 win total. I think they'll be over that. So if I was betting, I'd bet over that. I think they're going to have like 82 wins or more. And it might even be a playoff team, depending on whatever the teams in the division do and what they can do for the wild card. I have really high hopes in the Penguin Pirates this year. I think they got a lot of better hittings this year with Ozuna. If Ozuna can go back to what Ozuna did 2 years ago, he was like second in the MVP race behind a couple players, so that'd be good. Brandon Lau had pretty good last year too. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do now based in PNC Park. I mean, he hit a lot of home runs in Tampa. I mean, I know last year Tampa did have an outdoor stadium because of the hurricanes tore off the roof at Tropicana Field. But he did have good home runs in Tropicana Field too. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do with the three rivers and all the river breeze. And let's see what he can do for the Pirates. So they open up in New York at 1:15 on Sunday on Peacock on NBC. That's interesting, but NBC and Peacock are having games now. But ESPN Plus, I think, bought out the MLB tickets, so it's going to be interesting to see how that works. But the Pirates play at 1:15 against the New York Mets on NBC and Peacock. Paul Skeens pitches on Thursday. That's going to be a good matchup. But I do think the Pirates get over 85 or 78 wins this year. Pretty good 82 wins or more. And I think they might be a verge of the playoff team if they stay healthy. And if it goes according to plan, and they call up, and if it goes back down to the minor leagues, it might help. But yeah, I think the Pirates will be over 84 wins, or 82 wins. I think the Pirates have 82 wins. I think I'll bet the over if I was gambling. I mean, I don't gamble, but if I did gamble, I'll bet the over on that. But if Connor Griffin can go back down and get back to the hitting ways and they call him up soon, that'd be good too. I mean, if they call him up soon and he hits, that'd be good shortstop hitting in our lineup near the end. And he can be in near the end of the lineup or near the middle to try to get on base, so that'd be good too. But Spencer Horowitz is doing pretty good. Was pretty good last year. So last time Spencer Horowitz can have another good year like he did last year. I mean, that'd be good if Spencer Horowitz can come back last year like he did this year. He was good last year. He was one of our better hitters. But we'll see what he can do this year. We need O'Neal Cruz to have a good year. But our pitching's going to be interesting this year too. Bubba Chandler's coming up this year. He's going to be one of the new ones. But people are going to have their eyes on. He's one of the young... He had a lot of talk last year. Had a lot of issues to begin to fix. And mechanical issues he had last year. He might be able to get back to the form that everybody was talking to him about. And we do have Paul Skeens still pitching for us. We have Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller, that's good in the first part of the season. So last time Mitch Keller can do good throughout the whole season. That'd be greatly appreciated if Mitch Keller can do good throughout the whole season. If Mitch Keller can do good throughout the whole season, that'd be good. But we'll talk more about the Pirates game on opening day when they open up in New York at 1:15. I think they're going to win. Maybe Ozuna has the first hit if he plays. He probably will play DH, so that's another. Maybe Cruz has a Cruz bomb. That'd be nice. Cruz been having Cruz bombs in the Dominican games in the World Baseball Classic. So let's hope we can have some Cruz missiles here for the Pirates. Let's hope Ryan Reynolds can score. Let's hope we can get a lot of hits and a lot of runs against Paul Skeens and get Paul Skeens off on the right track. He's one of the best pitchers in the win. Because Paul Skeens puts up the best innings sometimes, and the Pirates last year could not get hits. So let's end that streak this year on opening day against New York. Let's start hitting the ball and making hits and making contact and making runs. That's going to be the difference of the game. So let's start your first, Pirates. I think they're going to win against the Mets. I think the Yankees beat the Giants tomorrow night. But I think O'Neal Cruz needs to be a team MVP this year for the Pirates. He needs to show up this year. His bat and his glove needs to show up in the outfield. He needs to look better this year and show why we paid him that money to play for us. And even Ryan Reynolds needs to show up better this year and have a better year. Maybe getting some of these new bats, if they start sparking hits, maybe get the other guys' confidence back up and the Pirates will look good. Let's hope that's the case because the Pirates do need help with that. I mean, they're looking good, but like I said, I do think it's over 78. I think Vegas is giving the Pirates a real small win total this year. I don't know why that is. With all reactions and decisions we did this year, we definitely made some more noise this year compared to last, and finally have some Bucko fever waking up now. I'm excited about the new baseball season started, and I'm going to see Paul Skeens pitch again. But at least we're finally getting some hitters. I mean, last year, like I said, Vernon Lau had like 20 home runs, and he was one of the top hitters for the Tampa Bay Rays. So that's good. And Brian O'Harn was pretty good for the Baltimore Orioles and the San Diego Padres last year. So let's hope they can get back to that this year. Spencer Horwitz was pretty good last year and has been doing pretty good in the World Baseball Classic for Team Israel, even though they didn't make it that far. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to our pitching staff. They say our pitching staff is really good this year for the Pirates. Let's hope that is. I mean, I know we have Paul Skeens and Mitch Calvary pretty good. Bubba Chandler's going to be an interesting project to see what he can do this year. Majinski's going to be interesting to see how he does the whole game and see if they pitch him long. I mean, I know they're going to try to pitch some of these people longer. Like, they're going to try to pitch Paul Skeens as long as they can go so they don't have to use the bullpen. Let's hope they have a strong bullpen this year, too. That's something the Pirates need, too. It's a good bullpen this year. And have a good bullpen if the pitchers can't go that long or they need to call in the pitchers to save a game if the Pirates are winning a close game and getting a lot of hits. But last time they can get a lot of hits against the Amazing Mets on Thursday and finally get Paul Skeens to win. But that'd be nice if Paul Skeens could get a win on Thursday for the Pirates. But I do think, before the baseball season starts, I do think the Pirates will have 82 wins or more. And I think they'll be a playoff team this year. But I love how the Pirates. On Thursday, I'll give you my score predictions on who I think is going to hit the hits for the Pirates and score. But I'll be later. I think the Hornets are going to beat the Kings tonight. I think the Knicks will beat the Pelicans. I think the Magic will beat the Cavaliers tonight. That'd be an upset. And I think tonight's late night game on Peacock, I think the Nuggets beat the Suns. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting basketball. Who wins tonight? Well, yeah, we'll see what happens in the basketball. All the first day is when the Sweet 16 starts for men's basketball. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the men's tournament. Some of my brackets are busted already, but some of them are decent still. Even though all of them are busted. I mean, I'm doing okay in some of these bracket pools, but this has been a wild basketball season. Who would have thought that Iowa would be in the big... Who would have thought Iowa would have been all the way in, Nebraska would be in with Sweet 16. That's quite impressive for their schools. Also St. John's, I can't believe Rick Pitino's doing it again. Rick Pitino seems to win everywhere he goes. He's 72 years old now. Him and Michigan's coach, I think, are one of the oldest coaches still coaching around. But Rick Pitino's son coaches Xavier. But nice to see Rick Pitino doing good again. He always does good wherever he goes. He's a good basketball coach. He might be one of the greatest basketball coaches to do it. Rick Pitino. I mean, I know Rick Pitino had a lot of scandals back in the day and stuff. But we'll see. It's going to be an interesting Final Four. Sweet 16 and Elite 8 this week. But thank you for watching every episode of Stache Sports. Thank you for watching every episode of Stache Sports. This is Stache Sports signing off.